go back. Come on.
Hi, Mr. President. I'm Maureen, my friend.
Are you okay?
I'm good. Are you okay? With you.
100% here.
We're going to get it over here. Where's he on? Are you ready? Are you ready? Food for everyone. Food for everyone.
Well, excuse my ignorance that I did not, but let's listen into this.
They've been after Trump from the beginning, but
questions swirl around President Biden's handling of classified documents.
Found in President Biden's garage.
Multiple classified documents.
You and the former president are both now under investigation by the Justice Department.
But they didn't indict Biden. Instead, Biden's DOJ went after Trump. Anything to block him from becoming president again. Stand with President Trump against Biden's corruption. Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, welcome to the 6 o'clock hour, Tuesday, 13 June, the year of our Lord 2023. We normally would say it would be a day that would live in infamy, but honestly, it is such a joke. One of the things I got from the War Room engine room during the break was that CNN is an absolute out of control spin because they understand, and you can tell the intelligence of the War Room posse in these interviews that Natalie and Mo have been talking about and Ben's been doing out in the audience, and the level of sophistication of our audience, it blows me away. It makes me so proud of doing this show and having the team we have to do this show. The CNN is losing it because the Presidential Records Act, this thing's a joke. Mike Davis has told you it's a joke from the afternoon of 8 May of 2022. This is how they think they're going to stop Trump. Morning console poll this morning in Politico, not Trafalgar, not the People's Pundit, not Richard Barris, not Tony Fabrizio, one of the president's pollsters, not John McLaughlin, the president's pollster. No, morning consult with Politico. Was it Trump 59, DeSantis 19? I said today that it's just DeSantis has now officially joined the Keebler Elves. There's not a primary. There's not going to be a primary. And I will tell you, and you can see it today, with that beautiful part of going to Versailles, that institution, a restaurant in Little Havana. That's an institution in Miami. The love, the respect they have for President Trump is just overwhelming. That's how it is through the nation. And that's what's going to be. He's going to be a unifier. This is going to be a unifying moment. We just have to keep our eyes on the prize here, and that is to burn the Biden crime syndicate down to the waterline, as we used to say in my beloved Navy. Okay, we're pretty packed this hour, and I'm trying to get Andy Klein, if my ever-crack staff can reach out, because we just passed the pistol brace. A hat tip to everybody in the audience. And if you can give a call over 202-225-3121, find out if your congressman voted for it. But Grace will have that up momentarily and give Andy Clyde a shout out. I want to go to Mo. First off, Mo, and by the way, I'm really proud of you and Natalie, the entire team. I know Ben Bergquam came in the red eye. You came back from Dallas and then drove down, got in the middle of the night because of you stayed to work with influencers after the conference, the great Charlie Kirk's conference, a Turning Point. You didn't get into like 4 a.m, and then you get on the road to come down. Great job, Natalie. Great job for you. Great job for the entire Real America's Voice team. It's been a long, tiring day. Give us your assessment of this day, ma'am.
I think the left thought that the MAGA movement and the MAGA base would quiet and just drift away, and they weren't. You could tell that the MAGA base has support for Trump. Like Natalie said, he has unwavering support, and we saw that here today. We saw a good-sized crowd this morning, and then we had a bomb threat. You would think that the crowd size would diminish after that. However, it got even larger. So much support for President Trump here all day. the audience and the MAGA base support him 100%.
No, and I think this is what shocked people. They anticipated, even I think it was in Politico or in Axios, they had the consultants and the advisors and the operatives all thought you'd see some weakness with MAGA. It's a joke. It's not happening. In fact, he's building momentum. He's building support because they see how outrageous this is. Last thing, I asked Natalie this. What would you tell President Trump about tonight? This speech to the nation at 8:15 is quite important. I actually think it's more important even than the time he came back to Mar-a-Lago after the New York situation, because now this is Merrick Garland and Biden using our justice system to come after him. What would you recommend to President Trump that he say tonight?
I believe that President Trump, he should address the American people, let them know what a joke today was, and go about saying what he's going to do once he gets back into the White House. The American people want to know what he is going to do to turn this country around that Joe Biden has destroyed in his time in office so far. I say briefly address today, but continue on with what you were going to do once you get back into that White House, President Trump.
Mo, what does it make you feel after you served your country over in Iraq during some of the gnarliest times when Obama and Biden couldn't pull off a status of forces agreement? What does it mean to you to see what happened at the White House, the desecration of the American flag and the desecration of the White House with this, whatever this event was this weekend, trans pride with the American flag not given a place of honor, but some transgender or gay pride flag given the place of honor at the White House, and then to have this freak, that's what he is, this freak that dresses up like a woman, stripped naked, right after meeting Biden and the woman that hangs out with him, Dr. Jill. What's your assessment of that, having served your country overseas?
It is a complete disgrace. That flag should never be next to the American flag, but especially in the middle of the American flag. That is, like you said, desecration for those that fought for this country, that those that died for this country. That flag has no place, especially on the White House and next to the American flag.
Mo, what's your social media? How do people track you?
People can find me on Getter and Twitter at Maureen_Bannon and on Instagram at Real Maureen Bannon. I will try and go live again tonight, and I was posting throughout the day, giving updates, especially after the bomb threat and the continuous sweeps of the area, to let everyone know that we were safe and that the police presence was keeping everyone safe.
I want to make sure everybody knows at 8 o'clock tonight, Grace and Mo will put up, we'll go live on... We'll go live with the president's remarks from Bedminster, and I'll be on that chat too. So, Mo, thank you very much. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Karoline Leavitt, another fighter from the Live Free or Die state. Give us your assessment. Before I talk to you about tonight, because that's really the important thing, give me your assessment. Because we had, Natalie was there, and she had sources inside the courtroom. She said that a bunch of the media, the people are mocking President Trump, smirking. Ben Bergquam said they saw him try to high five some of the prosecutors coming out. They were talking to each other, what a great day this is. What's your assessment of that, Karoline?
I'm so glad you're bringing this up, Steve, because we saw a couple of things today. Obviously, the most grave miscarriage of justice in American history. We also saw the solidarity of the great American people, the Cuban American people down in Miami who fled political persecutions like this one for the United States of America. They know exactly what's going on here, but the media, they don't get it. I just watched Jake Tapper say to his control room, to the guys in the control room, I don't want to see any more of that, referring to the people in that Cuban restaurant loving President Trump, praying over President Trump. They cannot stand that good-hearted Americans see through their endless lies over the last several years and are still rallying around this man. And the media's omission of bias is arguably the greatest threat to our democracy right now. The three leading networks in this nation, CBS, NBC, and ABC, have spent 291 minutes on the Trump indictment in the past couple of days. How many minutes do you think they've spent on the Biden corrupt crime family? 0 seconds on that entire story, even after the breaking news last night from Senator Chuck Grassley revealing on the floor of the United States Senate that there are 17 audio recordings between a foreign national and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden accepting bribes, $10 million. We have the evidence. We have the proof. This is truly Pulitzer Prize winning stuff. The mainstream media won't even cover it. That is the true threat to democracy right now.
I'm about to have somebody I think is going to win a Pulitzer, Garrett Ziegler, on in a second. But here's what I want to do. Just hang on, Karoline. I want to play, if Memphis could please play the Open, I could literally watch the Versailles restaurant all night, because this gets to the essence of who Donald Trump is. And think about it, all days of today. Look at the mood he's in. Look at the power he exudes, and look at the humanity. And look at the community down there in Little Havana at this institution called Versailles, the restaurant. Look at the response of just human to human, not even about a president of the United States. Let's go ahead and play it. I want Karoline to comment on it.
Thanks very much.
President.
How are you, Mr. President? Go back. Come on out here.
Hi, Mr. President. I'm Maureen, my friend.
Are you okay?
I'm good. Are you okay? With you.
100% here.
Where's he on? Are you ready? Are you ready? Food for everyone. Food for everyone.
Well, excuse my ignorance that I did not, but let's listen into this.
Karoline, you worked in the White House. You know the man. Give me your assessment right there of what we just saw.
This is who Donald Trump is, a man who deeply loves this country, deeply loves we, the American people. Let's not forget, this is a man who gave up a very successful life as a billionaire businessman, a successful real estate company, to save our country. And they threw everything at him. They rigged an election to remove him from office, and he gets back up and decides to do it again. Now they've indicted him twice. He is continuing to fight. That's how much he loves us, the American people. And we must rally around him more than ever before, because he is the only one that can take it to the swamp and win this next election and truly restore American greatness. That is such an amazing clip. And it's what the elitist talking heads in the media and the establishment don't want you to see. They want you to believe that the only president who has never entered us in new wars is the greatest threat to our national security, that the only president who has truly secured our border, reinvigorated our American economy, made America a net exporter of energy is a threat to democracy. Yeah, right. Good-hearted, common sense Americans don't buy it. That's why he's leading 40 points in the first post-indictment poll. This primary is over. Donald Trump is the Republican nominee. Now we have to take this fight collectively to Joe Biden's regime.
Karoline, you're now doing comms for the MAGA PAC, but you were comms in the White House. What would be your advice? So you know President Trump and you know how he presents. What would be your advice to President Trump about tonight and what he should tell the American? Because the audience will be much bigger, even though I'm sure the networks are not going to cover it. Fox is not going to cover it. People will watch it and they'll watch the clips. So it's going to be a broader audience than just the MAGA base. It's going to be a broader audience than just people that vote in Republican primaries. What would be your advice to him tonight about what the center of gravity of this speech should be?
Two things. First, go right at the heart, go on offense, go right at the heart of the corruption of this witch hunt. Talk about Jack Smith and Karen Gilbert being henchmen for Joe Biden. The fact that Jack Smith's wife donated thousands of dollars to Biden. The fact that Karen Gilbert herself donated thousands of dollars to Joe Biden exposed the corruption of these people. Talk about the corruption of Joe Biden's family. Senator Chuck Grassley's speech last night highlight that there are 17 audio tapes out there that prove that they accepted millions of dollars in bribes from foreign nationals. And then wrap up your speech by highlighting the 140 more than 140 new policy solutions that only Donald Trump has rolled out during this campaign to solve the many crises that Joe Biden has led this country down. Donald Trump's the only one who will fix the two-tier system of justice. He's also the only one who has proposed the largest deportation operation in American history, divesting from China over the next 4 years of his presidency, and so many more outstanding new policy proposals. That's what the American people, I believe, want to hear. And I am confident it will be a killer speech I can't wait to watch.
Karoline, how do people get to you? How are they following on social media, and how they get to the site for the PAC?
MAGAPAC.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Truth Social at MAGA Inc. War Room, and you can find me personally at K Leavitt NH. Thank you very much, Steve, for having me on this very sad day for our country.
Karoline, I really love the spots too. Just tell your team I really love the spot. They're tough. They're tough. They're fair. They're not cheap shots. They're fair, but they're tough, and that's what I think breaks through the white noise of political advertising. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
I want to go to Garrett Ziegler. Garrett, before we get into, because I think a lot of people, you've taken national prominence in Marco Polo. I'm not sure even a lot of our audience understand you worked in the White House. In fact, one of the favorite people we have on here all the time, Dr. Peter Navarro, really ran it, which I used to tell people I think was the best, what we call shops over in the White House. It was the manufacturing and trade. I really called it the economic warfare group. Joanna Miller and yourself were two examples of these great young tests. Tell me about Trump. Tell me, you saw the Versailles. You've seen him up close and personal. Tell us about Trump, and put in perspective. I'm going to leave the Biden stuff off the second. We'll get to that in a minute. Put in perspective what's happening today, and particularly the man you know.
Well, I think it's a testament that every single corrupt force in American life is allied against him. And so even if they can't cite exactly why Jack Smith is wrong in this case, or they can't recount how much money his wife has given, or that she produced Michelle Obama's documentary, for God's sake, they realize that every force in American life that is wholly corrupt is against him. And so what I think of here is how different he is in private versus what the media portrays him as. In private, I look at him as generous, lovingly cusses like an Irish sailor, loves the country. He's not, his constitution, lowercase c, is not like most billionaires. He doesn't want to maximize profits at all costs. He wants to make money and do good for the country. I think America is at such a corrupt point in its history that most people who are of the 1% couldn't give a crap about the ultimate destiny of the United States. And so we don't even have to convince people of this at a rational level. They just know in their gut that Donald Trump loves the country. That alone is a rarity. And so all of the specifics about the witch hunts, I think they're important for a legal sense. I think the president needs to get a fortified wall of 3 to 6 really good attorneys that go to bat for him. That's been finding, and I consider lawyers basically the knights of our modern age. He needs some better knights around him. And if he can get that, they can handle all the legal stuff. And like Karoline said, just hammer home the point that everybody already knows instinctively, that from the media to academia to the big PR houses, they all hate America first. And so if we repeat that in a way that is just like Trump did, without any fancy talking points, we'll break through that white noise you said.
Okay, Karoline brought up a point. They said there's a report out today, ABC, CBS, and NBC, broadcast news. I'm not talking about cable. I'm talking about broadcast. Broadcast gets to a different audience, a broader group of the American people, and what we refer to as low information voters. 281 minutes combined on the indictments and Jack Smith and all this. 281 minutes, and not 1 second on the Biden corruption. Walk me through that, sir.
Well, it was an interesting allegation, and especially the fact that Grassley passed along that there are 2 recordings with Joey himself. Obviously, that's where my mind goes first. Everybody knows through all of the emails that both Hunter and Joe are corrupted. We just have much more primary source evidence for Hunter. We do have some for Joe. In fact, we have Joe on 7 felonies in this report, and we have a $1,000 bounty for anybody who can refute one factual allegation in this dossier, by the way. But those audio messages with Joe have to be revealed. Whoever they're talking to, and I actually don't know who the whistleblower is that's talking to Congress, they have to somehow get those MP3 files out, because one of the things that came up in 2020 kind of got lost were the tapes between Poroshenko and Biden. Now, I know you know all about these, but these tapes are extraordinary. Number one, because they're totally real. Nobody's debunked anything. We have Joey talking to Poroshenko about nationalizing Privat Bank, i.e. Ihor Kolomoisky, 2 weeks after the election. So what does this mean? If we have audio of Poroshenko and Joe already, and that was released by not just Durkok, but other people, then it stands to reason that they could have other audios of Joe. That, hey, we already have audio out there of Joe being corrupt with a foreign leader, and this is my 2 cents and unsolicited advice to the congressional staff is get the audio out. It's one thing to have a U.S. senator on the floor recounting these allegations from a whistleblower. It's another if we can play Joey's voice on national television or shows, all over the fringe right, and it'll force the mainstream to talk about this. I just want to hear Joey's voice talking about firing Viktor Shokin with Zlochevsky.
I want to walk through now exactly what you have, because it's so shocking, and kind of put it in perspective, because this is going to get to be a centerpiece. People should know Garrett is a one thing about Garrett Ziegler, you're not going to back him down and you're not going to scare him. They're coming at him with multi-million-dollar lawsuits. They got Abby Lowell, who's a renowned attack dog, right? That's, saying everything from we're going to put him in jail to I'm going to sue him till he's bankrupt for the rest of his life. You got other massive suits against you. You've had threats, all of it. Why are they coming after Garrett Ziegler, Peter Navarro's deputy over at the White House, a manufacturing and trade guy that really executed on the America First economic policies? What is it you have, and how have you broken it out? What are they so afraid of?
Well, number one, I got obsessed with the Chi-Com threat when I worked for Peter. I had gone into it knowing that it's probably one of the top 5 issues in the 21st century, our relationship, with the CCP. But the economic entanglements of the family that you've talked about for years now, that's insane. And it's what drove me to spend over a year writing this. If the Bidens were dealing with the Japanese or the Brazilians or the English or even the South Africans, I wouldn't have spent this much time. Why this all matters is because the Chi-Coms have so much dirt on the Bidens that, like I said on your show 2 times ago, even if the Bidens wanted to do the right thing, and we know they don't want to, they may be prevented from doing so because of the potential blackmail that the CCP has. So, to answer your question directly, I think the reason why Kevin Morris, who's Hunter Biden's sugar brother and benefactor, and Abby Lowell, one of Hunter's attorneys, hate our little group so much, and by little I mean it's a half a dozen independent contractors. Our budget for 2022 is like $190,000. A percentage of Heritage, for example, is because we focus intently on that. If we just focus on the primary source materials and don't get into these he said, he said, she said. For example, Red State ran an exclusive last night that a source within the intel community stated that Zlochevsky was a Russian intel asset. Now, I don't doubt that. That would be the supreme irony, right? The freaking owner of Burisma being a Russian intel asset. However, their sourcing was an anonymous intel agent, which for over 4 years in the Trump admin, people know is most of the time it's junk. You shouldn't cite that and put it into a report as fact, right? Even if you're just passing it along. What we do at Marco Polo is literally post the original primary source documents. So their emails, text messages, photos, videos, voicemails, and they hate that. Abby Lowell hates, he can't defend this primary source material. He can't defend it. And so that's why they're attacking me personally.
Okay, hang on, Garrett, hang on. I'm going to hold you back because, look, I told you the entire thing today is to go on offense. Whether it's Chuck Grassley, whether it's Matt Gaetz, what's Anna Paulina Luna, we've tried to connect you today with people
really
on
impressed
offense.
me.
Garrett Ziegler, she is. You're at the tip of that spear. Short break. Back with Garrett Ziegler in a moment.
Thank you.
And K. Bannon.
Okay, folks, we're going on offense. Okay, we're going on offense. And one of the ways we're going to do, one of the vectors here is on things related to the Biden crime syndicate, the Biden crime family. Garrett, let's pick up where you left off. I want to pick up the book because there's two things. I want to make sure everybody goes to the site, and I love, is Memphis have where he's sending us where the traffic is? If we can send the graph, explain what the graph is, because I want to empower the audience to do more, Garrett. What are we seeing here? We put up this chart. Tell me what we've seen, Brother Ziegler.
So those are literally the Cloudflare stats from yesterday, right when I was on the show at 10 a.m. Eastern. And you can see that that's a point in time. So at any steady, at any point in time throughout the day, there's around 3,500 people on the site at one time. And then on your show, it goes up to 10K. And remember, this was a little bit less than even last Friday. So last Friday was about 25,000. And so the servers are being pounded. And did you see that the post-millennial last night suffered a DDoS attack when they were covering Grassley's speech on the Senate floor? And so we're interested to see if the same entities are DDoSing people that expose Biden corruption. That would be a huge story. And if there's any way that those people are the subcontractors for the IC, because it wouldn't be them themselves. It'd be a contractor for them.
Yes. Yeah. Walk me through. Tell me, where do people go right now for the site? Because you got the book, and we'll talk about the volume you've got. But how do people go to the site and how they play around? Here's why. I want this audience to go explore themselves, because I will tell you, it'll become an addiction. Once you go in there, like when I first saw the laptop and started going through the Chinese Communist Party stuff, because that was really I was brought in to ascertain their compromise financially. But then I saw the other part of it, and I mean, I was blown away by the whole thing. It just came. But you've set it up that people can go in and see the source material, and the way you've annotated it's amazing. People can go on a voyage of discovery, and the voyage of discovery you're going to find, and this is what's most important, is you will see the actual thing itself, where Garrett Ziegler, a fine young man, calls the family a group of feral dogs. You'll get to see all that. You'll get to see the compromise. But also you have to remember that this has been covered up. The mainstream media won't touch it, but more importantly, it's being covered up by the Praetorian Guard of the FBI and the DOJ. This is what you must remember as you're going through this. But Garrett Ziegler can't walk you through it. I can't walk you through it. You need to do it yourself, because as you do it, you're going to want to see more and more. You will share it. You will get more people. That is how we will bring the Biden family down, quite frankly, and how we're going to bring Chris Wray down and Bill Barr, because the question we're going to go back to two questions from Watergate. What did you know, and when did you know it, right? And follow the money. And that's what your site. So walk me through, how do people get on the site, and how do they start to explore themselves, Garrett?
Yes, thank you. The site is BidenLaptopMedia.com, and there are two features that we're really proud of. Number one, all of the photos have the metadata attached to them. So if you send a photos, for example, through an app like Telegram, when you send the photo, Telegram sort of deletes the metadata embedded into it to save space. So it's not as large of a photo. But because we have a copy of the laptop, all of the metadata is attached to the photo because it's the primary source. It was residing on the laptop. What does this mean? This means that the geolocation, the model of the iPhone, the date it was taken, the latitude and longitude coordinates, those are all on the site. So if you go to BidenLaptopMedia.com, you can literally see a globe and see now some of the photos don't have much EXIF data and don't have latitude and longitude coordinates, but you can literally see the pattern of life for the U.S. First Family that they, don't want you to see. This is the private life of the Bidens. You can go on Vanity Fair right now and read a dozen puff pieces about Joe and Hunter's relationship, and that's all massaged by paid spin artists, not unlike Abby Lowell. This is a firsthand account of what they're really like. Crack cocaine, affairs, Joe running a totally decrepit household. Just like Michelle Obama said about Hillary in 2008, if you can't run your own house, how can we expect you to run the White House? The same thing applies to Joey and Dr. Jill. They can't run their own house. How in the heck can they run the White House? Their progeny is totally defined by their lust, be it sex, drugs, money, etc. So they're getting the full color with metadata, and along with the geolocation, they can go through it chronologically, and they can actually download the photos themselves. There's a big button that says download photo, and so we're not wanting to guard this. We just put it in a format to where people can access it easily and go through the materials logically. Steve, we've never had this in American history, and that's why me and you are kindred spirits in many ways, I believe. One of them is when we saw the material for the first time, you and I recognized the third and fourth order consequences. With all of these emails, yes, Lord knows what we'll be able to glean. And guess what? We're a humble group. I know that there are going to be things that I miss. And so when we democratize the data, and I know it sounds left-wing, but hear me out, people are going to notice different things when they go through the photos. They're going to see it with different eyes. They're going to make different connections. Yes. And they'll come to us or to their friend, and more connections are going to be made. So we want to be the repository. Right now, Assange is in Belmarsh. There's really no other group acting as a repository for these sorts of secret documents, and that's what our vision for Marco Polo is.
Real quickly, how do people get to the site? How do they start this? And how do they, if they want to order the phone book, which is in and of itself breathtaking, how do they do both of those?
Yes, so the photo site is BidenLaptopMedia.com. And our main site, which will bring you to everything, our social media, et cetera, is MarcoPoloUSA.org. And not only does that have the link to get a physical copy, but we also set up a very simple redirect link that's marcopolo.support. So you know how most domain names are .com. If you just type in marcopolo.support, it'll go right to the physical copy.
Okay, and I want everybody to pile on this right now. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted, in closing, the most important thing that we can do is stuff the primary source material down their throats. They can't argue with an audio of Joe.
Yes.
They can't argue with the emails. And they can't argue with the metadata. So I try to keep the commentary to the bare minimum. And I know my father would laugh because he thinks I talk too much regardless. But if we always keep the primary source material front and center, the spin doctors have a harder time.
Yeah. The reason they're trying to shut you down, this is the thing itself. That's what you very rarely get to see. This is the thing itself. It's shocking at every level. One more time, where do people go, Garrett, before you bounce?
MarcoPoloUSA.org has all the links on there.
Okay, this is what you need to do. The posse members, we got to pile into this right now. We need everybody there and everybody sharing these links, etc. We're going to have more on this tomorrow. Garrett, you have more big news at the end of the week. We'll get to that probably on Thursday. I know you get big breaking news at the end of the week.
Yes.
Want to keep that under wraps. Garrett Ziegler, thank you very much, brother.
Thank you very much for having me on.
We're about to have one of the great patriots join us. I want to play his cold open. I'm so infuriated by this. Let's go ahead and play it.
Hello, I'm Steve Stern, CEO of Flag Shirt.
Welcome to the White House.
Thank you.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life.
Yeah!
Transgender children.
You are beautiful.
You are heard.
You belong.
You are understood.
You are loved.
And you belong. One of the bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known.
You're welcome.
Good folks.
Can we take a little video? Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Trans rights are human rights. Oh, it's a video. Oh, it's a video.
The monument's in the right?
Gay news. It's so damn. Are we topless at the White House?
Okay, we had a little technical problem at the beginning. I would like Memphis to reset now where you play this. This is such a desecration, and this is why I'm so honored. Stern's going to join me in a second about this day of commemoration of Old Glory. I got to play this desecration again. We're going to rub people's noses into this. This is one of the worst outrages I've ever seen in this country's history. Let's go ahead and play it.
Welcome to the White House.
Thank you.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life.
Yeah!
Transgender children.
You are beautiful.
You are heard.
You belong.
You are understood.
You are loved.
And you belong. One of the bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known.
You're welcome.
Good folks.
Can we take a little video? Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Trans rights are human rights. Oh, it's a video. Oh, it's a video.
The monument's in the right?
Gay news. It's so damn. Are we topless at the White House?
That's a desecration, and that's filth. And that's what Biden and this corrupt family, you're going to see it when you go to Garrett Ziegler's site, but then you see, and for him to sit there and say, you're the bravest people I know, has he been to Section 60 over in Arlington? Of which, in the 8 years that he and Obama, how many did they send to Section 60 over at Arlington National Cemetery that were the honored dead of the Iraq and Afghan war? Steve Stern, more than ever, brother, we need a day, a Flag Day, to commemorate Old Glory and to talk about the bravest of the brave that gave their lives serving it. Sir, talk to us what's going to happen tomorrow, because we need tomorrow more than we've ever needed it, sir.
So it just happened to be planned that way. And my wingman was on yesterday. I was in Chicago. I just flew back, got back about an hour and a half ago, left my luggage at the airport. We'll get it later because this is more important. We want to talk about this event because General Flynn, one of the greatest generals in this country and a very close friend to President Trump, will start the event off. He has some great words for you. If you want to get on, go to getpatriotize.com. You can get on. It'll be on the Lindell Network. We have to thank him very much for getting us on there. It'll be on Twitter, Getter, Bright T on TV, Rumble, yournews.com. Everybody's putting it on that can. So this is going to start at 10 a.m. in the morning. We try to do it for the West Coast so they could get on at 7. We have Michelle Swinnick and I will be hosting it. We'll have a special guest host also. Well, our people are working round the clock. I was texting all the way on the plane. I want to thank all the people who have been texting and sending it out. I know they've all done a terrific job. Somebody sent out 7,000 emails for us. My phone is blowing up. Everybody's wishing us a terrific day tomorrow. If you want to get on, you can also email me at stern1054@AOL. You can call me at 954-318-6902. I'll try to get back to everybody. My phone's been blowing up, so I know what you go through, Mr. Bannon. You'll be on at 1. I know you're going to have some special work for the country. Also, if you'd like to get a flag shirt, go to www.theflagshirt.com. You can't get it for Flag Day, but we know we got 4th of July coming up. So we have General Flynn starting off. We have Tom Homan, Sebastian Gorka. We got Lee Greenwood, who's flying in today, special to do his song. He'll be on at 12 o'clock. I think he got in tonight at 5 o'clock from France. We have you at 1 o'clock. We got Chanel Rion from One American News on at 2 o'clock. We got General Malloy on. Mike Liddell will be on at 4. Clay Clark at 4:50. John Fredericks at 5. Mel K is going to close it, and many, many more speakers. We have 46 speakers. We're going to do the best we can to get everybody on time. We're running this like a professional thing. Again, also, if you'd like to join, we're talking about President Trump today. If you'd like to join and work on his campaign, just send me an email at stern1054@AOL. We'll send you the invite. Again, if you want to get on, go to www.patriotize.com, and I'll hold it up for a couple of minutes. But we won't stop you from coming on. You can go on direct. Go ahead, Steve. You had a question.
So we're on. You go to Patriotize. You can also watch Lindell TV from 10 in the morning, till 6. You can also on Getter, 6 at night. On Getter, we're going to be on multiple channels. You're going to be up. You're also going to be on War Room the entire time. We'll also be on my personal account, which now has 1.8 million followers. So we're going to make sure you can go to any of these, and you can get chat rooms. There's going to be people there enjoying it. It's going to be incredible. And this is all to commemorate Old Glory and celebrate Old Glory. Celebrate this flag that has meant so much to this country and has meant so much to the servicemen that have served under this flag. And I got to tell you, the desecration that went on this weekend was a desecration. And we have to set things right. And that's hopefully tomorrow starts that with this. One more time, Steve, you've done an amazing job. Where do people go to see the roster of speakers? Where do they go to get more information about this?
Go to Lindell TV or go to www.getpatriotize.com. One of the things that I'd like to say, and I want to thank everybody around the country has gotten involved in this. And we are going to start, after General Flynn comes on, with the largest United States flag in the world. It's going to roll out with the Star Spangled Banner. Every time I've had that on TV, my eyes just tear. I mean, we need to get the people involved. We also need them to sign up for getting involved in precinctstrategies.com. We hear all these things about what's happening to the country. Dan Schultz is going to be on tomorrow telling you how to get involved. We had to have him on because he has spent 14 years doing this. He's doing a terrific job. He wrote a book. We got another guy in Texas, 1,000 people he's got involved. The 5-star plan. We got people working all over the country. I want to thank everybody who comes out and spends 12 hours a day. I spend 14, 16 hours a day. Doesn't matter. I'm actually going to take a day off right after this Thursday, and I'm going to start again on Friday. But we're going to have tonight. I'm going out right after this and having 2 lobsters. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Again, get your flag shirt. I go out there. I'm going out to dinner tonight with my hat and my flag shirt. I'm sure people are going to ask you to do it again. But go to www.theflagshirt.com. In business 69 years now. I want to tell everybody we have a special section that has United States goods. We also have other sections that have stuff made in India also. There's certain stuff. Not everything is made in the United States. I want to let everybody know that. But we do have a big section, and we're going to make more and more stuff. We just got new hats in, a lot of stuff. So I want to thank everybody who's worked on this. I know my son has done a terrific job. The wingman came in yesterday. I went to my granddaughter's graduation.
The wingman was not. I told him he was not a bad pinch hitter. Not bad.
Yeah, I got a lot of calls.
Steve, we got
saying Stern.
No, he did. We're not going to call you Wally Pip yet, okay? But he did very good. We got to bounce. I really look forward to tomorrow, Steve. You've done a lot. It's providential, brother. Precinct Strategy 2, this is how we took over Georgia. This is Charlie Kirk, I think, at 600 down there at Turning Point. Steve Stern, I can't wait for tomorrow. We need a celebration of the American flag like nobody's business. Okay. Tonight at 8 o'clock, Grace and Mo will have us up on Getter on both the War Room site and mine. Now that I have 1.8 million followers on Getter, and we'll be giving commentary in the chat room. We're going to watch President Trump's remarks from Bedminster. I just got a text from Boris. He can't join the show because they're not going to land until about, I think, 7:30 or so, and they're going to go right to Bedminster. A long day, but not a tough day because we're on offense now. Crom, Carmichael, we need a War Room posse, as you saw today. We need the lion hearts to have healthy hearts. We got a couple of minutes. You gotta tell people about Soul Tea and how this is going to help them, brother.
Yep. Steve, thanks so much once again for having me on. Soul Tea is a heart healthy supplement that has great science behind it. We've been making the active ingredient in Soul Tea for 18 years, and the active ingredient is a particular molecule in fresh green tea that we ferment it, and we take that molecule, which resides at 1%, and we increase it to 22%. And what that does is that's the equivalent of drinking 30 cups of green tea a day in terms of helping your heart and your cardiovascular system. And then we did some clinical trials, and we proved that our product will help manage and lower cholesterol. On average, it lowered cholesterol 17%. In my case, and I've been taking our product for 18 years, and in my case, it lowered my bad cholesterol from 130 to 89, and has kept it under 90 ever since. And so it's a great product. Heart health is the most important thing you can do for your body. Heart attacks are called the secret killer because they sneak up on you. People have heart disease and don't even know it. And Soul Tea can help you with a cardiovascular system and manage your cholesterol.
How do people get it?
The way to get it, Steve, is to go to warroomhealth.com. That's warroomhealth.com, and that'll take you to Soul Tea. You use the code WARROOM at checkout. That's WARROOM at checkout. You'll get $29.95 off your initial shipment, and then on an ongoing basis, you'll get 3 bottles.
By the way,
we'll be 2.
Thank you, Crom. We'll be back at 8 o'clock tonight, then live tomorrow morning at 10.